to Live in the Solution. I'm your astrologer and tarot card reader, Mary Trimble, here with your readings for February the 24th through March the 1st. Okay. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Capricorn through these cards for February the 24th through March the 1st. This is a general reading, guys. It's for the collective, so take what resonates and leave the rest. And you can find your sun, moon, and rising in the show more description box below. All the links to the other videos will be in there. So might take me a minute to get them up, but be patient, they will be there. And all kinds of other links too. Oh, yes, I'm feeling this, Capricorn. If you want a personal reading, you can find my website in the show more, or you can click on this link here and that'll take you there. And that's enough of my sales pitch. Okay, let's get to it, Mary. Capricorn's waiting. 3 cards for Capricorn. Oh, there's 2. One more card. There it is. Oh, wow, you've got 4. You had 3 in the beginning, so I'm going to put that out. That there, like that. Oh, and here we go. There is definitely crossover here, guys. So check out your sun, moon, and rising. Okay, these are clarifying cards for Capricorn. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Capricorn through these clarifying cards? For February the 24th through March the 1st. Please clarify the 7 of Pentacles. There it is. Please clarify the 10 of Swords and the 3 of Wands. There it is. Please clarify the King of Pentacles. Oh, hang on. Please clarify the King of Pentacles for Capricorn. Here it is. Okay. Capricorn, the first card out for you is the 7 of Pentacles. Now, the 7 of Pentacles is when you are being asked to go over the books kind of thing. Take a look at all the effort that you've put in. Look, he's a field worker, and he's taking a moment to really look at what the fruits of his labor and how his hard work has played out. So has he worked too hard for the fruits of his labor that's come through, or has he put in enough? He's getting enough back for the effort that he put in. These are the questions that you have to ask. So it's important to go back and see. Now, I'm not saying that you just stop working on what it is that you're working on, but maybe you need to tweak it a little. Maybe you need to spend a little more time doing something else, or bringing in a new idea. Perhaps you need to reinvest and wait for the next harvest. But it's really about taking a look at, is it worth it? Right? Is all your effort worth it? And if not, how can you change that? What can you tweak? And what's interesting, what's clarifying the 7 of Pentacles is the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands is saying, yes, don't underestimate yourself. You can do this. And this is about confidence. It's about bringing in the confidence. It's about accepting everything, even the shadow side. So sometimes you may think, oh, wow, I put in far too much effort for what I got back. It really wasn't worth it. And it's almost like you want to give up. But this is saying, no, you can learn from every experience you can learn from. You can gain knowledge and wisdom from that experience. And, she is about, look, when she's coming into a reading, she is about confidence. She's about accepting yourself, your shadow side as well. But she's also about networking. So maybe you need to market whatever it is that you've been working on, Capricorn, maybe you need to market a bit differently. And maybe you need to use social media. Maybe you need to advertise a little more. Maybe you've got to get it out there, I think, in a different way. And by doing that, you need to connect with others, because she's the hostess with the mostest. She's like out there every night, socializing, networking. She's a really good mother. She's a great wife. She's an incredible businesswoman. She works it from all angles. And this is saying, it's okay. You've got this. You can do it. Don't underestimate yourself, Capricorn. Now, you have 2 cards in the next position. You have the 10 of Swords. And next to the 10 of Swords, you have the 3 of Wands. Now, the 10 of Swords, well, you know, it's 10 of Swords, it's like being stabbed in the back. It's like, you know, this is something that happened to you. This is like you being, what's the word I'm saying? Betrayed, and you didn't see it coming. And it was really painful. And it was so hard to recover from this betrayal. Right? It's very difficult to move on from it. But when the 10 of Swords comes in, it's saying that this is kind of the end of it. And you are ready to move on. You know, 10s are endings and beginnings. And this, you know, this is a new beginning for you. The old you is dead, darling. You are rising out of the ashes. You are a different person. You have this wisdom that you are learning from every experience that you've had, and all the pain. You know, pain is growth, right? Pain is a motivator. So I know that you're moving on from this, and I feel that I don't even have to tell you, you're already getting there. And what's interesting, clarifying right next to the 10 of Swords is the 3 of Wands, and this is planning for an optimistic, bright future. This is seeing your future in optimistic terms. So sometimes when you're in this, you can't see this because you're too much in this, but this is about, I don't even know, you're letting this go. You're ready to move on from this, whatever this is for you. You're ready to move on. And this is about going forward. This is Jupiter, darling. You know, actually, this could be the conjunction between Jupiter and Pluto coming up in March. This is the energies of that, because that's very like leaving the darkness behind and letting it go and moving forward optimistically. Stay tuned for your astrological report after this to see what's happening in celestial skies this week. So I feel that it's letting that go. Whatever's happened has happened. You can't change it. But what you can change is how you move forward. And you have to move forward. You've got to plan. Plan for an optimistic, great, abundant future, because this is Jupiter. And clarifying those two cards is the 8 of Pentacles. And the 8 of Pentacles is the Apprentice card. So this really is about learning everything you can about you're going forward. This is about really planning ahead. This is about, look, all the coins are on this side and they can drop down. You have to become the master. So whatever is going on with you, leave it in the past. Because moving forward, it's like learn from it to move forward. The old you is dead, and go forward as, the wise. Look, Saturn rules your sign. Go forward as Saturn. You've learned all these lessons. You're becoming wiser and older as you move forward, Capricorn. So just learn everything you can. And this really is a good time to study anyway. I mean, studying, because Mercury retrograde is an ideal opportunity to study, deep and profound subjects. Now, the next card out is the King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles is, listen, he's worked really hard in his life. He's accumulated all this wealth. And now is the time to kind of sit back and enjoy yourself. Stop, working, because the urge is to just work. And that's very you, Capricorn. Just work, work, work. I want to sing that song. You better work, 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 work. So the King of Pentacles, it's time for you to sit back and enjoy the fruits of your labor, darling. And what's interesting, clarifying because the King's, he's worked very hard. You're going to see him next to his subjects with his sleeves rolled up, his hands in the dirt, because he understands that he loves luxury items. He loves opulence. He loves richness. He wants, he wants luxurious possessions. He wants status in life. He wants to be all that in a bag of chips. And he's not afraid to work for it. But, there comes a time where you need to kind of sit back and take a back seat. Maybe you've worked a little too hard and you need to reap the rewards and the fruits of your labor. Now, clarifying this is the Five of Pentacles. So you're feeling a little out of sorts, out in the cold, deprived in some way. Now, this can be deprived of love, deprived of, possessions, of wealth, of coinage, money, deprived of your ambitions, whatever this is for you. This is that feeling of being out in the cold. Maybe you're not connecting with people. Maybe you've been so busy working that you are kind of alone. You haven't invested in your relationships. That's what this can be, right? So, look, the only way to come out of the Five of Pentacles is to look at your glass as half full, because this is a half empty glass right here. This is focusing on the have-nots. So, I know people that are rich and they are always focused on what they don't have. And so they never really enjoy what they have, what's around them. So even if you're not rich or you don't believe you're rich, you're probably a lot better off than a lot of other people. And so acknowledge what you have. Be grateful. Show gratitude about what is around you. What are you grateful for? What do you have? What is it? Maybe you have time that, maybe you work for yourself and you can choose to not to work if you don't want to sometimes. But perhaps you're working over the top and then you don't go out and you don't invest in your friendships and your relationships. This is a feeling of kind of being alone and out there in the cold. So this could be you're feeling this in a job or in a relationship. You can feel like this in a relationship. You can be feeling out in the cold, no connection in a relationship too. Whatever this is for you, it's about being grateful for what you do have. It's about looking at your cup half full as opposed to half empty. That gets you out of this feeling. It's a slow process sometimes, It's being grateful for what you have in your life. What do you have that you can be grateful for? There's always hope, darling. Some of the most hopeful people that I've ever met are homeless people. They live in this. They have no choice but to live in the moment, right? They can't afford to live in the future. They have to live in the moment. It's really interesting when you look at that. But I digress, darling. Anyway, stay in the moment and be grateful for what you have. See your cup as half full. Capricorn, thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you haven't. And stay tuned for the Astrological Report coming up next. Mwah! I love you all, and I'll see you on the other side. Hello, and thank you so much for staying tuned for the Astrological Report to see what's happening in the celestial sky this week. That is the week of February the 24th through March the 1st. And we start on Monday, February the 24th. The Sun is sextile Mars at 9:06 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that will be the next day in Europe, or earlier in the evening on the West Coast. So now this will increase your energy, this transit. It's a perfect time to kind of tackle any projects that you've kind of left on the shelf, and this is a really good time to kind of get that done. And also you'll have the stamina to see it through to completion. So this is a wonderful energy to take advantage of. Now, February the 25th, the Sun is conjunct Mercury at 12:59 a.m. So it'll be the day before on the West Coast, but it's on Monday in New York and in Europe. Now, this is a lively, chatty time, right? The Sun is energizing, so it's going to kind of energize your communication, because Mercury is about communication, the intellect, and siblings and local travel. So your speech pattern may be faster than normal. You may be a little more chatty, but still be careful, because remember that Mercury is in retrograde. So things that you say may be misinterpreted or misconstrued. So be very thoughtful before you say something, even though it's kind of very that kind of thing, you know. I kind of get that. I talk very fast, and sometimes my thought process is so fast I can't get it out of my mouth. So sometimes it can have you like that. So it's but it's energizing, it's fun, it's engaging. So it's definitely a way of making connections and perhaps posting something on social media. So also be very careful about what you post on social media during this time. Now, on Friday, the 27th, Venus is square Pluto at 5:06 p.m. Now, this can be a very stressful aspect for relationships, because it's about power and it's about control. Ultimatums are likely during this time. And listen, resist the urge to manipulate, because that's going to be front and foremost. It's about manipulation, because you want the power over the relationship. So it's about spying. Don't look in emails. Don't look at things that you don't want to find. You know, we always find things if we're looking for it. So don't resist that urge. Let them have their privacy. And look, if it's meant to be, they'll be there. Listen, strong relationships will weather this transit. But relationships that are on thin ice could break up during this time, and you could feel that very heavy pain. It's a very deep and heavy pain. But as I say, resist the urge to spy on your partner, because it'll probably backfire if you do that. You're not going to gain anything from it, except perhaps pain. Now, also on the same day, although the next day, if you're in Europe, this is Friday, Mercury is sextile Uranus at 10:14 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it's the next day in Europe. Now, this transit really quickens your mind, right? Because Mercury is the planet of intellect, and then Uranus is the higher octave of that. So it quickens things. So your mind works very fast, you know. Sudden, incredible, innovative ideas may come to you. So have a pen and paper and write these things down. There may be a gem in there. Now, have you ever had that kind of thing where you think of someone that you haven't seen for years, and then all of a sudden they pop up? You either get a message, or you get a phone call, or you bump into them. That's what this transit fosters. It fosters psychic ability and intuition, and things like that come up out of the blue. So you may come across some surprising news, perhaps when you're, surfing through the internet. So, and also very vivid dreams at this time. So pay attention to your dreams, because you could receive psychic messages in your dreams. So write them down when you wake up, because they may be really informative to you later. So guys, that is the astrological report for the week. Thank you so much. I'd just like to mention a couple of things. This is a viewers supported channel, and you can support this channel by either becoming a member. I now have a membership available. Just press the join button and there are some perks in there. Check them out. There are 2 levels of membership. I'm going to do videos only for members, and all kinds of perks and things that I'm planning to do. Also, I have a Patreon page, and I'd like to really thank my patrons that I have. They really help me out. So thank you so much. And you can check out my Patreon page. You can click on this link. It'll take you to my Patreon page, and it shows you things that I post there that I don't post anywhere else. I also have a Facebook group, guys, and twice a month I do a live feed within that Facebook group. I'm planning to do those live feeds just for members only in my membership section. It's in the community tab, and the community tab, we can hang out there and talk and message, and I put special posts, behind the scene posts there for memberships. Anyway, that's my sales pitch, darling. I just want to thank you all for tuning in, and of course, more than anything, I am available for readings. So check out my website. The links will be below in the show more section, and you can see what kind of services I offer. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. Mwah! I love you all, and I'll see you next week.